After Michigan got one of the most impactful transfer portal players last year in center Olu Oluwatimi, they have stayed hot going into this year. This is day 3 of the transfer portal. Michigan yesterday afternoon got a commitment from Arizona State starting offensive guard Jyaire Henderson. Folks, he is slated to be a starter next year for Michigan after making 29 starts over the past few seasons with the Arizona State Sun Devils. We are going to dive more into this story and talk recruiting and the imminent commitment that everyone wants to know more about. It is the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports coming up right now. And if you guys didn't see my announcement on Twitter, and if you didn't watch on Sunday, we will be live tomorrow on Thursday. Our weekly live show will be weekly live, really weekly from now through February signing day. So you get me once a week live for 60, 75, 90 minutes, however long the audience wants us to go here on the channel. So tomorrow, Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, join us live, youtube.com/Michigan TV. Make sure you are subscribed, folks, because 50 new subscribers, that's the deal I've made with some folks. If we get 50 new subscribers before tomorrow's live show, I'll be going to the College Football National Championship game, Michigan versus the winner of Georgia, Ohio State. At least, I'm not jinxing Michigan, TCU, etc., but that's the expectation for me. And also, guys, you want to be part of the live show because we are giving helmet stickers. Got the Michigan Football Report hard hat, and we are giving out helmet stickers to a bunch of viewers: Rick Harford, John Blaze, Blue Wolverine, Shane Johnson, Wolverine Alaska, Leanne, Rick again, Rock City, Josh Sherwood, Preston Yoder, and Cool Moti, amongst several other ones. Join us tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's talk more about Jyaire Henderson. So this one caught me off radar. I didn't expect him to commit so quickly, right? He was a guy that I think was on a lot of lists that Michigan could look at. Would be, hey, here's top 5, 6 schools that he could approach. But he met with the Michigan coaches yesterday and committed, virtually on the spot. Now, was considered a potential NFL draft pick. Some people call him a day 2, which is round 2, round 3. So he skipped that, much like Olu Oluwatimi did last year, to come get coached by Jim Harbaugh, Sharon Moore, the Michigan offensive staff, and he was a captain of this team last year, so this isn't like a situation where he's running from something by going from Arizona State to Michigan. A captain last year has played guard in the past few seasons for the Arizona State Sun Devils. Sam tossed it on there. There you go. Played that guard for Arizona State, but going back to his true freshman year in 2019, he was a tackle and did play there that season. So he will come to Michigan for the 2023 season to compete for a starting tackle role. Nothing's guaranteed in this life, of course, especially when it comes to Michigan and the meritocracy that Jim Harbaugh has put into place. But expect him to be a starting tackle next season, and I think this is a huge get for Jim Harbaugh and this Michigan football program, folks. I'm looking forward to 2023. If what we've seen over the past few games, past 2, 3, 4 games, continues next year, with Cade McNamara moving on, Eric Hall moving on, Luke Schoonmaker, Rodney Bell going to the pros, accepting games, one of these Senior Bowl and all these different East-West Shrine games. You said kind of thinking, well, maybe Michigan might not be as good next year, but think about the last few games. J.J. McCarthy, sophomore, going to be a junior next year. Okay, Diamond Edwards, sophomore. You've got Colson Loveland has really emerged over the past couple games. He is only a true freshman. Mason Graham, Will Johnson might be the best player on Michigan's defense right now, freshman cornerback. Michigan's going to have a ton of talent for next year, underclassmen this year who are going to emerge, and adding guys like Jyaire Henderson certainly will make that a better season than maybe some people had expected when you're looking at next year's roster. Folks, which are you more excited about as we are in the first college football free agency in the history of the sport, right? The true free agency. This is day 40 or day 3 of 45 days from Monday for 45 days forward that guys can put the name in the transfer portal, and then there's like official visits, and it's all above board. In the past, transfers was always kind of like below board, kind of a shisty little thing. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Give me a P or give me an R. Head on down there, reply to the pinned comment while you go down there and do the pinned comment. I am going to get into an ad read for today's presenting sponsor, which is Fetch, the free app that allows you to scan your receipts and earn points that can be redeemed for gift cards from your favorite stores, restaurants, and online realtors. Folks, it is super easy to use. Check this out. You use the app to just snap a photo of your receipt from purchases from any store, or click on the e-receipt receipt option, and Fetch can connect to your Amazon account, and you'll earn points on all shipped orders. Plus, connect your email to earn points for every e-receipt you receive from Uber, Instacart, or any purchase you make online. These points can be redeemed for gift cards at your favorite stores and restaurants. Fetch is available on iPhone and Android. Use our link, chatsports.com/fetch. That is chatsports.com/fetch. Use promo code CHAT for 5,000 bonus points when you scan your first receipt. That's equivalent to a free $5 gift card. It's a free app, and the 5,000 bonus points using promo code CHAT is only available for a limited time. So get started now. iPhone, Android, just type in chatsports.com/fetch to download and put in promo code FETCH when you do to get your 5,000 free bonus points when you scan your first receipt. Let's talk about our top positions for the transfer portal for Michigan. I've got going through 5 positions. I think offensive line probably would have been up there before yesterday's commitment from Ladarius Henderson. But running back is my number 1 because I don't think anything's proven beyond Donovan Edwards. Now, this is expecting that, of course, Blake Corum does go pro, which, of course, he has not announced just yet. How about tight end? Luke Schoonmaker going on, presumably to the NFL. But Eric All's going to transfer, which I was caught off guard a little bit about. It seems like there's some bad blood brewing between him and Michigan. There's a lot of speculation on whether the Michigan coaching staff, moved on from him, put all their eggs in the Colston Loveland basket, or that there's some speculation, I don't have any insight on this as of yet, is that the Michigan medical staff wasn't what him and his family expected and getting him to return to play. A lot of murky rumors out there that we'll try and dig in as we get deeper into December. How about cornerback? We'll see what happens, right? Gemon Green technically could return. DJ Turner technically could return. I'm not 100% sure if either one of those guys will. Turner maybe have more of an NFL future. Green, maybe an NFL future. Maybe he decides to go somewhere else. I'm not sure. But Will Johnson has emerged as Michigan's number 1 corner. Mike Sanderson, I think, will stay in that nickel kind of hybrid role that he has been in. So Michigan definitely needs to upgrade if Green and Turner or either one of those guys decide to move on. How about quarterback, right? No Cade McNamara. Davis Warren, backup, okay. Alex Orji, I'm not really sure what you're getting from the young guys here on this roster. And Michigan's going to go 2 recruiting cycles, 22, like this year's true freshman, and likely 2023. There's no real quarterback, high-level quarterbacks on the docket. So Michigan would love to bring in a backup quarterback, someone that's got starting experience, but necessarily doesn't expect to start at Michigan. That could come in if something were to happen to J.J. McCarthy, where he had to miss any sort of time where Michigan desperately needed high-level quarterback play. And last but not least is wide receiver. This, like cornerback, I think it's going to depend on whether Cornelius Johnson decides to return, whether Roman Wilson decides to return. If those guys do, maybe wide receiver isn't as high profile of a portal position that Michigan recruits for. 3 true freshmen. Looked good in practice, but none of them really, put together a ton of film on the field this year. So Michigan will have Rodney Bell moving on, whether Cornelius Johnson, Roman Wilson return. Andrew Anthony, he said he was locked into to Michigan's bowl game, but there has been some transfer speculation there. If multiple guys that Michigan, I mentioned there, other than Rodney Bell, decide to leave, I think Michigan goes after the wide receiver position pretty hard in the next 45 days. All right, we're going to talk more on the transfer portal and recruiting coming up, so stick with us here. We've got that to talk about, who Michigan's targeting and who they could get for one of those positions that I just mentioned, and I'm going to talk some Jadyn Davis here in a second. But I want to start off this next part of the show talking about Virginia starting quarterback Fentrell Cypress. He is in the transfer portal. Michigan's considered a leader with a bunch of other schools that certainly could offer him some great things like Michigan could as well, one of those being Ohio State. Second team All-ACC last year, and will have 2 years of eligibility left because of the COVID year. Next year will be his 5th year in college, but he redshirted, had the COVID year, and I'm not sure how this will play out if he decides to go to Michigan or I guess anywhere else. Is Virginia players, all of them, were actually granted a extra year outside of the COVID year just today of eligibility because of the tragedy that happened within their football program with 3 players getting murdered by a former football player a number of weeks back. So there's a chance that he could have 3 years of eligibility left, although I'm not going to speak, don't cite me on that as of now. I highly doubt that he would stick around in Michigan or anywhere he goes, being he's a second team All-League player already for 3 more years, but just something to keep in mind as we move forward. Michigan's going to push hard for him, but there's a lot of schools after him. If he were to come to Michigan, second team All-ACC, folks, I would suggest that he would potentially be your starting cornerback outside of Will Johnson next year if DJ Turner does move on, which at this point I will expect him to. How about Jyaire Hill getting into the recruiting for the 2023 recruiting class? Really is Michigan's top target on the board that most recruiting blog boys and pundits think Michigan has a chance to land before December 21st signing day. Defensive backs coach and co-DC Steve Clinkscale was in his house last night. Jim Harnbaugh and Jesse Minter will visit him on Monday. They're looking to close the deal. They've got really just one school that is in contention that seems to be, it'll come down to Michigan versus Illinois. Brett Bielema turned out to be a real jerk. He's put out some weird things. He was like retweeting Eric Gall's kind of shots at Michigan. Just a real jerk. So it'd be nice for Michigan. They got the win over Illinois, last second field goal. Nice to get the recruiting win over Brett Bielema, that jerk as well. Now let's take a look at the top 5 recruiting classes in the Big Ten as of December 7th, a day that will live in forever in infamy, as was once said in remembrance of Pearl Harbor, the Pearl Harbor bombing, 60, 80, 81 years ago, 1941. Ohio State's got the number 1 class in the Big Ten, Penn State number 2, Michigan 3, Iowa 4, and Northwestern 5. National rank over there on the right side of the screen, you see Ohio State's got the top 5 class. Penn State's fallen off a little bit. They used to be in the top 5, top 4 for a long while. Michigan's increased a little bit. They've had a little run of commitments lately, kind of in and around the Ohio State game, but still at number 20. Without a bunch of big recruiting names, I don't see them going any much higher than number 20 before December 21st signing day. Now, with Nicholas Harbor and some others out there, maybe that would commit in January or early February. Michigan get inside the top 15 for February's final recruiting rankings. All right, folks, we are 24 days until the college football playoff semifinal, the Fiesta Bowl out in Glendale, Arizona. Michigan, TCU. We're going to be live tomorrow with a TCU super fan slash, inside, what do you call him, college football guru, TCU alum. Tomorrow will be on the show. So before we get to tomorrow's show, I want to have some of your score predictions to talk to our guest tomorrow about. So give me a score prediction down below, Michigan, TCU. I think I've actually had a few score predictions. I don't remember what they were at this point, but I'm going to say off the cuff here, Michigan's going to win this one. I'm going to say 35-17. 35-15 will be my final score. I think TCU will get move the ball quite a bit, but will kick a lot of field goals and not really have much success scoring touchdowns. Aaron Gates is a top target for Jim Harbaugh right now. The Florida commitment has been committed to them for nearly a year and a half, committed in August before his junior year of high school. Visited Gainesville this past weekend, just coming off of a visit about 3 days ago. He is the top nickelback, which is the role that Daxton Hill played in 2021, that Mike Sainristil plays this year and will play next year. Jim Harbaugh is visiting in home tomorrow. The goal there is to get him to flip. Now, Gates was injured in his senior year, had a big-time knee injury. He's put out quotes recently that how much it meant to him that Florida stuck by him, didn't over-recruit him after he had a severe knee injury. And maybe that means that he sticks with them. Florida recruiting sites are very confident that Gates will stick with the Gators. But Jim Harbaugh is going to make a last push for his top nickel prospect on the recruiting rankings, folks. The biggest challenge that Michigan's having right now, in a lot of ways with recruiting, is Jim Harbaugh interviewing on signing day last year with the Vikings certainly hurt perception, but Michigan hasn't been able to put together any sort of concrete, definitive NIL plan or strategy for high school recruits. And I think this recruiting class, being number 20 right now, after back-to-back Big Ten champion seasons, back-to-back seasons where you go into the playoff ranked number 2, the fact that you've got number 20 recruiting class, I think speaks for itself. 2024, though, if Michigan gets NIL figured out, has the potential to be a blockbuster, monumental class. And if it's going to be, led by that man right there. Jadyn Davis became Michigan's top target in a 2 or 3 year class stretch. The second Dante Moore committed to Oregon back in the summer. The word last week, the word going into the Ohio State week, all the kind of coming out the Illinois game when in his last visit was he's going to commit within a few weeks. And then last week it was like, oh, let's get through the Big Ten title game by next Friday. We'll expect him to commit. That's what Michigan is. That's 2 days from now. So the announcement within days. It's been days now, Jadyn Davis. It's been days. So just go ahead and announce it already, right? We're waiting. It's like that meme, right? Well, we're waiting from Caddyshack. Just go ahead and commit Jadyn Davis, 2024 5-star quarterback out of Charlotte. Wore Michigan cleats in his state title game about 3 weeks ago. I think we've all expected him to commit for a while. Go ahead and do it. Give that Michigan 2024 recruiting class a little head start, a little bump as we're trying to wrap up the 2023 class this month. As I mentioned, we will be live 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Get yourself into the live chat. Get on the Michigan football helmet. If you guys haven't watched the last few weeks, we've got confetti on the helmet, Sam. Can you believe that? We were popping confetti. We were popping champagne on Sunday, before noon in Dallas here where we're at when Michigan went to the college football playoff. If you meet one of our Super Chat goals, you get a sticker on the helmet. I'll give some shout-outs. Blue Wolverine, Wolverine Alaska, John Blaze, said some of these already. Shane Johnson, Rick. Blue Wolverine has been one of the big ones. He's on here a bunch. Cool Moti, Dominic Franchillo. I mentioned a few of these guys. So if you haven't yet, join one of our live shows. We're going to have about 7, 8 more live shows until February signing day, and you could potentially be part of the Hard Hat Club. What we're doing with this helmet is at the end of the February signing day period, that week, we'll do a live show. Whoever is our Super Chat MVP is the most stickers in this helmet. I'm filling this helmet up with dollar bills. I'm going to take this helmet, a Blake Corum signed football, and a Michigan football jersey of your choice and send them to our what do you call it? Live show MVP, guest of honor, whatever you call it, between November when we started this thing, late November, and early February. So join us tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's youtube.com/Michigan TV. If we get 50 new subscribers, folks, I will be headed to the national title game, which is as simple as that. Got to do it before 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And one more ask before you go. Right there below me. Follow me on Twitter. It's at James Yoder. As we approach 10,000 Twitter follows, we really appreciate everyone who has followed and supported the show over the past 4 seasons. We will see you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern live. Until then, go Blue.